Good morning, my dear students, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program. Welcome to Science by Harsha ma'am. As you already know that we are doing the lesson which is the cell, and we are doing so let's move further in the content. This is all the part that we have done yesterday in our last lecture, that is the cell. It is actually compared with a house, because it is having the multiple functions that takes place in more than just one operator complex structure like the house the cell is. Then coming to its basic definition, cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all the life cells, and study of its structure and composition is called as cytology, while study of cell structure and functions is called as cell biology. If we talk about its discovery, then Robert Hooke was the first person to observe the slices of the cork, and he saw the row of empty boxes and he gave the term that is cell, and he has mentioned about it in his book that is called as Micrographia. Then comes the next part, which is cell theory. It was Skyven and Skelding who stated that all living things are made up of cells. Then Rudolf Virchow, he stated that all cells come from pre-existing cells. The term protoplasm was given by Purkinje. So this is important part. Principles of the cell theory, that is all living things are made up of cells. Smallest living unit of structure and functional organism is the cell, and all cells arise from pre-existing cells, that is stated by the Rudolf Virchow, but this principle is discarded in the case of spontaneous generation. What is spontaneous generation? We have already discussed. Then comes cell shape. Cell is of various shape, and its shape is based on its function. Whatever its function is, on that basis its shape is there. Then comes cell size. Cell size is varying. Yes, it is different in all like all the organs. So this is how it is varying. In human liver, it is 20 micrometer. In RBC, it's 7 micrometer. In acetabularia, it's 10 centimeter. The largest cell is the ostrich egg cell, which is 50 centimeter. The longest cell is the nerve cell, that is of about 1 meter. Smallest cell that is known till day is PPLO. Its dimensions are 0.1 micrometer in diameter. Coming to human egg, it's 0.1 millimeter. Next part, that is the characteristics of cell, which you have already seen. Our outer membrane, then the cytoplasm, the organelles inside it, and the nucleus with the DNA. These are the components which the cell is having. Then we discuss the cell types, which is prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic are those which are believed to be the first type of cells on the earth. Examples, the bacteria and archaebacteria, and this is the structure, how it looks like. These tangles are devoid of nucleus, that means they do not have nucleus. These are ribosomes, and we have already discussed about the whole of the structure. They have no membrane bound nucleus. Nucleus is not present, but DNA material is present. Organelles are not bound by membranes. Then comes eukaryotic cells. Nucleus is bound by the membrane. It is including the rest of all the kingdoms, and it is possessing all the organelles which are having membrane also. If we talk about the classification of the organism on the number of cells, then in that case it is bifurcated into two types, which is unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular means having one single cell like amoeba, paramecium, while multicellular means there are many cells, and each and every cell is operating on the basic type of need, like this tiger, apple. These are multicellular organisms. Human being. This we have already done, that is the characteristics of cell. The membrane, the organelles, and the control center with DNA. Then the first short note that we did was cell membrane. You can compare it with the wall, because like wall it is protecting, and this is how it is. It is having the bilipid layer like this. In this bilipid layer, these blue color small, which you can see, these are the lipid layers, these are the proteins. and you can see water, ammonia, carbon dioxide, oxygen, entry भी है, exit भी है, hydrocarbon only entry है, no exit, glucose no entry, ions no entry. Yes, this are entering but through active transport. Then this is about the movement. It is also called as fluid mosaic model because the proteins are embedded in it. Then comes its function. It will give shape to the cell. Then there is a plasmodesmata that is forming the junction with the bajuwala cell. Then it is a selective permeable membrane, that is, it will allow only some particular materials to enter and it will not give the green signal to all. Then further you are having, it is helping in the tissue formation and it compartmentalizes the cell content. Molecule movement. If we talk about the molecule movement, that is maintaining homeostasis. Maintain homeostasis means what? Outer conditions, whatever they are, but inner conditions will remain stable. That through that way the transportation is done, and the transportation is of two types: passive, active, and the third one is of bulk. In bulk you are having two types: endocytosis and exocytosis. Endo means अंदर जाना, exo means बाहर जाना. Endo में अंदर क्या क्या आता है? तो खाना भी आता है और पानी भी आता है. Means all the fluid is also coming. So if food is coming, it is called as phagocytosis. If water is coming, then it is called as pinocytosis. Phagocytosis is also called as cell eating, and pinocytosis is also called as cell drinking. So coming to the first type of transport that we are going to do today, which is the passive transport. Passive transport is again further bifurcated into two parts, which is diffusion and it is the diffusion and the osmosis. Come to the passive transport. There is no kind of energy requirement when the one particular substance is going from one cell to another cell or within the cell. It is moving only because of the difference in either concentration or in the difference of the pressure or in the difference of the charge. Any of these three things will change, then the molecules will start their movement from higher concentration to lower concentration. So why they are moving? They move to equalize the gradient. That is the difference. Remember, passive transport does not need any kind of energy for going from one place to another. Then comes the types of passive transport. There are of two types, which is diffusion and osmosis. Let's talk about the diffusion. Diffusion is a very common topic which you have done even in your chemistry. When the molecules are going from one place to another just to maintain the same concentration, then that is called as diffusion. How is diffusion occurring in our body? Now you already know that we are intaking oxygen, and what are we giving out? Carbon dioxide. What is that? Ultimately it is, you can compare it with the process of diffusion. Moving further, the fragrance of the flowers, they spread to a large distance. That is just because of diffusion. Transpiration. Now this is might be a new term for you, but it's a very normal term, transpiration. I think you remember from the plants, the leaves, the water molecules get evaporated and they form the, when we were doing water cycle at that time, we had discussed that how plants are playing a major role. So this process, when water gets evaporated from the plants, it is called as transpiration. Instead of vaporization, it is given a special name. That is transpiration. Okay, I hope you are clear with the content. Okay. Now comes the very important part, which is osmosis. What is osmosis? See, for learning osmosis, I want to tell you one thing, that when we are talking about the osmosis, then we are talking about the flow of solvent. Any of the solution is containing two things, which is solute and solvent. Generally the thing that is more in proportion is called as solvent, less in proportion is called as solute. For example, this is full of water and there are just small salt particles inside it. We have done, but we are doing it again. Then these salt particles which are less in proportion, they will be called as solute, while the water which is more in proportion will be called as solvent. So, in osmosis, there will be flow of solvent particles. Solvent will go from higher concentration to lower concentration. In general case, we are considering solute. Here we will consider solvent. Okay. So, here it is a special form of diffusion where fluid flows from lower solute concentration. When we it is movement of solvent, तो जहाँ solvent का movement होगा वहाँ solute का कैसे flow होगा? उल्टा होगा. If solvent is going from high to low, solute will go from low to high. So this is how, don't get confused, I am going to explain you yet again. It also involves the movement of water into the cell or outside the cell. Then very important point, which is the types of solution. Here I am going to explain you. Be with me. Solute plus solvent is equal to solution. You already know. And there are two types of solution which are like little bit you need to understand. Isotonic is, both the sides the proportion is equal. Hypotonic solution and hypertonic solution. Okay, what is happening in hypotonic solution? This is one case. If generally we are taking total as 1, then over here outside the solute is capital S, solvent is this dollar sign, okay. If this is suppose say 0.7, this is 0.3. Total 1 होना चाहिए. So total here it is 1, means overall it's 1. Here solute will be 0.3, solvent will be 0.7. Now what will happen? In the hypotonic solution, here solvent is going to go from high to low, higher to lower. So, what will happen in hypotonic solution? Higher to low, there will be movement. That means that outside solvent will flow inside. And how will the solute go? Solute will also go, but that will be from low to high. So here, solvent is going inside the cell, anything is going inside the cell. What will happen to the cell? Cell will bulge up, okay, there will be bulging of the cell will expand, you can say. Opposite to it, hypertonic. Solute will be 0.3, solvent is 0.7, outside it will be opposite. Now here what will happen? Here solid is greater outside the cell, solid is greater outside the cell, yes, but solvent is greater inside the cell. So from inside the solvent will go out, and in this case fluid will flow out of the cell, so the cell shrinks. एक ही ऐसी प्रोसेस है कि जिसमें वी आर कंसिडरिंग सॉल्वेंट मूवमेंट, अदरवाइज वी आर कंसिडरिंग सॉल्यूट मूवमेंट, ओके, बट इधर अगर सॉल्यूट के टर्म्स में हमें बोलना है तो उल्टा होगा, सॉलिड इज गोइंग फ्रॉम लोअर टू हायर, solvent higher to lower, don't get confused, okay. So this is very important point. Isotonic solution, there will be no flow, outside and inside everything is totally the same, okay. Very important part of the lesson, again it is going to come forward in your higher standards, so please my dear once note it down, note it down with this diagram. So I hope you are clear. This is how the normal cell, when it is losing all the solvent, it shrinks. Then if it is gaining, then it gets swollen like this. Okay, sometimes extra things happen. Okay. This is isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic solution. Okay. Observe the diagram. And try to fit it in your brain. Active transport. Now what is active transport? Sometimes, many times it is happening that there is the need, like if at all these ions want to enter, then they will apply their pressure. So here what will happen, the sodium, potassium, they want to go inside the cell, but this protein molecules and everything will not allow them. So in that case, energy is required which will try to push them up, and they will anyhow try to enter inside the cell, and after going inside the cell, and their movement, whenever it will happen, they will be happy. And this type of movement, molecular movement, that is needing energy against the gradient, is called as active transport. Here you can see the sodium and potassium pump. Okay, note down this, then we'll move further on the bulk transport. So I hope you are clear with the active transport. Then comes endocytosis. Endo means what? Andar jana. So endocytosis means there is a movement actually of large particles. That this is a form of bulk transport. Bulk transport is of two types, that is endocytosis and exocytosis. Now endothermic, like what is meaning of that? Endo means inside. So movement of the large material particles or organism or large molecules inside the cell, that is endocytosis. Endocytosis is of happening in this way, like the plasma membrane, first of all it surrounds the material. You can see this material, it will surround it, and the edges of the membrane, they will meet over here, and the membrane will fuse to form the vesicles, and this is how the things will happen. Now cell is also taking the food material as well as the fluid material. When it is taking food material, it is called as phagocytosis, and liquid material, it is called as pinocytosis. Phagocytosis, which is cell eating; pinocytosis, which is cell drinking. Then comes the next part, which is exocytosis. It is reverse of endocytosis, उल्टा होता है इसमें. Okay, cell from the cell the material will go out, and this is how it goes out. These are the secretory vesicles, then again they'll fuse with the plasma membrane, and then slowly it will open up and all the waste material will be discharged out from the cell. Exocytosis, the vesicles, they will move to the cell surface, they will fuse with the membrane and materials are expelled out. Cell wall, where it is found in? It is found in Plantae, fungi and Protista, not in kingdom Animalia. Plasma membrane के बाहर जो layer होता है generally it is cell wall. In plants it is cellulose and in fungi it is chitin. Most important point, very much important. Okay, plant में जो cell wall होती है, this wall, what it is made up of? It is made up of cellulose. If it's fungi, then it's chitin. Don't pronounce it as chitin, it's chitin. Please note it down. Quick. Then comes the next part, which is cell wall. Okay, you already know that the cell wall is, it's something like this. The extra layer around the plasma membrane, which is present in the plant cells but not in animal cells. How is this cell wall now? In your 8th standard, you have studied that cell wall is, helping the plants. It is trying to hold the plant in all the tough situations like high wind, high temperature. In all that cases, cell wall is trying to help the plant to exist. So, because you already know from its functions, some of the functions, you can judge this well. Cell wall is rigid, semi-transparent, strong, thick and porous. Okay, cell walls of two adjacent cells are joined by a lamellae which is called as a layer that is called as middle lamellae. So here is one cell wall, another cell wall, both of these are joined by a layer that is called as middle lamellae. What is this middle lamellae made up of? It is made up of calcium, pectin and magnesium pectate. Now what is this all names? These are names of the materials. Okay, don't get confused. Some plants are having one more extra layer, that is secondary cell wall, which is lying inside the cell wall, which is made up of cutin, lignin and suberin. Okay, these are the terms which are difficult to memorize, but yet you have to do it. दो cells जब भी join होते हैं तब in between जो layer उनको join करता है, that is called as middle lamellae. What is that middle lamellae made up of? Calcium, pectin and magnesium pectate. There is one more extra cell wall in some of the plants, and that is what made up of cutin, lignin and suberin. Very important part. Note it down. Quick. Be quick. It is important that you note down even during the revision. Why? Because this is biology. It is going to help you out. And quick recaps are really going to be very beneficial for you for your exams. When you are revising the notes, things will become very easy. So note it. Let's move further. Functions of the cell wall. It is giving a proper shape to the cell, strength to the cell. Then it is permeable. It will allow entry of the molecules of different sizes. Next is it is providing the torque of pressure during osmosis. That means it is helping the osmosis to get carried out. What is the torque of pressure? I have already taught you. I hope that you remember the term. Cell does not burn due to excessive pressure of water that is entering into the cell just because of cell wall. Okay, its functions are again very important. Definite shape, strength, permeable, provides turgor pressure, and it will not allow the cell to burst out. So these are the key terms. Only remember this: shape, strength, permeable, turgor pressure, cell does not burn. इतना होगा ना, then you'll be able to form the functions again. You'll be able to write all the functions. Okay, so always try to remember it with some trick. Shape, strength, permeable, turgor pressure, and cell does not burst. इतना याद आ जाएगा तो you'll be able to form the statement on your own. Okay, always do like that. Keywords अपने ब्रेन में रखो. Shape, strength, permeable, turgor pressure and cell will not burst. तो इतना तो आपको याद होना ही चाहिए. So always remember the key terms. Note down the functions quickly. Let's move further on cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? Viscous thick fluid that is containing organelles. Which are the components of cytoplasm? Here you can see the components of it very properly in this particular diagram. Interconnected filaments and fibers. This is intermediate fiber. This is the microtubule, microfilament. Okay, and this is how you can see all the organelles are holded at that place because it is fluid. તો એવું ક્યારેય નથી બનતું કે એક માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા બીજા માઇટોકોન્ડ્રિયા સાથે અથડાઈ જાય. It's not happening. Why? Everything is holded properly. Nothing is going to move also from its place. Means little bit of at their place they can move, but they cannot leave the whole place. And the storage substances. Let's move further on cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton, skeleton means what? Like in our body we are having skeleton, the bones and everything. So in the same way here cytoskeleton is containing filaments and fibers. It is having three types of fibers: microfilament, microtubules, and like this, and intermediate filaments. Microfilament is very small, 8 nanometer. You don't need to remember the size कि कितना है, only the names are enough. 25 nanometer. And intermediate filament, they are the thread like structures like this. They are, when these are opened up, means viewed in through the microscope, very powerful microscope, then it is this much, 10 nanometer. What are its functions? Functions are providing mechanical support, it will anchor the organelles, and it will help the substance to move. This is important part. Note it. So I hope you are clear with this and you have noted it down. This is how its structures look like. These are the microfilaments, green one, microtubules, bigger one. Okay, and everything like this they are holded. This is all cytoskeleton. The view from the microscope. Microtubules empty, you can see over here. Intermediate filament IF. Okay, other content. Thank you so much for listening to me and have a very good day. Bye bye.